Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my review of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045. If you're new here, hello, my name's Hayden. We do a lot of weeb shit. We're a variety channel, reactions, gaming, etc., etc. We recently just watched the newest edition of Ghost in the Shell, the first season of 2045. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it. If you want to watch the reaction, it is on the channel, and you can check that out if you want. I really liked it. If you watch the reaction, I'm a stern defender. I'm a little pressed about it too, because we're reacting to this, we're reacting to the Lord of the Rings show, and they're both like not, they're both like kind of controversial. I feel like at least Lord of the Rings is like controversial because there's people who like it, people who don't like it. Then of course there's the super stans and super haters. I feel like this one doesn't get a lot of respect. Kind of. Like Rotten Tomatoes 12% or 14% on season 1. Excuse me. At least my anime list it was like a 6.7, which I think is probably fair. Honestly, like it's not that bad. Like I saw a review on Rotten Tomatoes that said the live action movie from 2017 was better, and we just watched that. And I can say definitively it is not better than it is not better than this, okay? This is it's solid. And I said this throughout the reaction. The cutoff point is the animation style. It is in full 3D CG, and I know that is not people's not everyone's cup of tea. If you can if you either like it or you can bear through it, then I would recommend watching this. If you can't and it's just not your thing and you can't get over it, then don't. And I think it's fair. Someone like gives it a negative rating and says, "I can't watch it. I don't like 3D CG." I think that's totally fair. But what cheeses me off is like what other what other stuff, other stuff some people say like worse than the live action movie. Opening and ending is mediocre compared to the original standalone complex stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? The opening's the second best Ghost in the Shell opening. Mainly because I don't remember what Arises is, and also I think it's better than Standalone Complex. Not Second Did. Second Did's a banger in its own right, but the opening's good, the ending's good. Let's just start with that, okay? um, and yes, again, 3D CG. I think as someone who doesn't mind 3D CG, I don't think there's a lot of people that would prefer it over 2D animation unless you're just not really into anime. Um, I can handle it. Again, I do prefer 2D over 3D. I think this was pretty good though. I've always said I enjoy if they are gonna do a full 3D CG show, they should do it in a sci-fi, man. I guess the main appeal in 3D CG is some level of detail and realism. That's why you see like a lot more animes blending more 3D CG into their anime, just to get for objects usually, just to get that like level of detail. You can't really emulate with 2D. Like obviously you can get like major detail, but it's a different kind. And I think with you see it a lot in sci-fi too, sci-fi anime. A lot of 3D stuff for either robots or ships and stuff. So it made sense if you're down to do 3D CG, at least do it on a sci-fi, which they did. I thought it looked pretty good throughout. I think the 3D CG fighting scenes, hand to hand specifically, also have a different feel. And don't get me wrong, 2D fighting scenes can be super goated. I would say majorly like the goated ones are better than the goated 3D CG ones, but it has a different feel of like, again, realness, technicality almost. It's good. I would at least like, and especially in this series, fighting the post-humans with their weird ass preconception foresight shit was really, really dope. But yeah, again, big things visuals, and again, I totally understand if you don't like it via visuals. I think story-wise, I will agree with the general consensus that the second half is better than the first half, mainly because the second half feels more like a standalone complex uh, format. Because in the original standalone complex, which I think and many others agree that it's probably like the goated version, goated series of Ghost in the Shell, You know, you have your standalone episodes, which are fillers or just single episodes. It's kind of weird calling it fillers because it is a crime show, and most crime shows usually have like standalone episodes, either one or like multiple episodes and like a main plot line. That's what Standalone Complex did. um Standalone episodes, then complex episodes, which all like the complex chains together for like the major antagonists of the season. um this one didn't do that, just because you know we're in a totally different situation, right? It's, I forgot how many, I think it's like 10 years since Setten did in the world. You know, the world's gone to shit because of the sustainable war. Section 9's broken up. So they are dedicating this large period of time um to rebuild, not to rebuild, the story of bringing Section 9 back together, you know, the main squad, so we can get the ball rolling. And for the first half of the anime, it pretty much focuses on that, you know. Um, and there's some good into it, like world building, like what the fuck's happening to the world, what's everyone been up to. You know, Togasa's divorced, he's in Japan where everyone else is a mercenary. Who knows what Paz and Boomer were doing. um and you know, the story's interesting too, but it's not something you're used to. Again, you're used to episodic episodes in Ghost in the Shell, specifically in Standalone Complex. So I think that's why people probably didn't love it as much. There was some cool scenes, don't get me wrong. Again, fighting the CEO guy was goated. Um, like the action scenes were goated. It was just kind of weird to see like one full episode just dedicated on action. And the pacing, right? The pacing's different when it's like that. It was like a string of complex episodes. But once the team formed back together, you get some nice, I wouldn't even call them standalone episodes since they still kind of connect to the main plot, but they were really good, right? You got the boxing guy, you got the think pole one with Purin, you got the last two episodes kayed me, dude. I felt so sad, especially the last episode. You know, without spoiling too much with Yuzu, dude. I thought I was gonna cry. I thought I was gonna break my no crying thing. But it almost happened. Like there's really good stuff. I guess technically a standalone episode would be Bato's bank robbery thing, which was pretty fun. Um, I think it's solid. I think it picks up in the second half, and I think I'm really hopeful for season two, just because we have Section 9 together. So now the pacing doesn't have to be that slow, because we've established the world, we have the squad back together. Now we get into the main meat of the series, and like I said, when we got into the main meat, it was very good, and I didn't mind. I thought the first half was fine too. I was interested. I was trying to absorb all the information. This post-human threat seems like the most dangerous threat in the show so far. I mean, yes, the other main antagonists, well, specifically in Setting did, were pretty terrifying, but these guys can like just fuck the world, right? So, yeah, I am a fan of this story. I don't think like some of the criticisms I saw were like they lacked creativity. I'm like, really? I mean, again, it seems that way for the first half, since it's one big story. So if you're judging them episodically, then it makes zero sense. But I thought the stories were pretty good. There is a high standard to Ghost in the Shell stories, though, so I understand, but I don't think it's that bad. Um, Voice acting was great. All star cast, killing it. Um, I do still have that complaint that Paz, you know, notable member of Section 9. I'm pretty sure he did not say one line. He might have said one when he was introduced, but he was just silent, man. No Paz stuff. Boomer said a couple lines. He's partnering with Purin for a bit. Whatever. Everyone else was cool though. Motoko, Togasa, Bato, then the stars of Section 9 with Aramaki. Aramaki was fun. Um, Saito took a pretty big back step. I think Ishikawa was probably like the next thing after them. Usually it's Ishikawa and Saito, but we didn't get a lot of Saito. But still, Saito way above Boomer and Paz. We got some new characters too. We got Clown from the first half. I didn't like Clown. He was comedy relief. His voice actor didn't really match the character. He just fucked shit up. I don't really like him. But our other new characters, by new I mean characters that stay in the series. The Prime Minister I thought was a very fun character. Um, and in standalone complex, the female Prime Minister was also a good character. So I'm glad they replaced her with another good character. We also have Purin, our engineer hacker cutie. she's a fun character for sure. Tachitoma's looking good as always. One of the main goated mascots of Ghost in the Shell. Music was good. Again, I liked the opening. I liked the ending a lot. It grew on me, the opening specifically. But when it grows on you, dude, you feel it. Soundtrack was good too, I guess. I don't really have much to say about that. Yeah, I just thought in general it's underrated. Like I agree with my anime lists like 6.6, 6.8 or whatever. It made sense because some people will just not watch it or just not like it because of the graphics, and I think that's fine. Personally, I would give season 1 like a 7 to 7.5. I thought it was great. I'm a CG enjoyer, so it was fine for me, and I wasn't bothered too much by the first half like most people were, besides Clown. Fuck Clown. Please, I know they teased they can call him back whenever they want, but please don't bring back Clown. I thought he was gonna be a permanent person, and I didn't want to talk too badly about him, but like he was kind of annoying. um, but no, I think it's great. I think it. I would recommend watching it if you are a fan of Ghost in the Shell and you've been avoiding it just because it hasn't been doing well. Um, I think if you want to get into Ghost in the Shell, I wouldn't recommend it first, of course. I would either start with standalone complex or just start with Arise and go up, since it technically Arise is like, I believe, the furthest in the past. So it's like the prequel. But no, it's pretty good, and I'm definitely gonna watch season 2. Um, very, very, their cliffhanger literally felt like a next episode. They not wait a year until the next season with Todessa joining the air troopers, man. That was crazy. But yeah, great choice. I went into it being a little like, but I'm like, yo, this shit is sick. But thank you guys for watching. We might start season 2 right away. We might not. You'll just have to see whatever pops up. You'll see soon. But first, movie reaction Monday. Watch that if you want. I don't know. You can, honestly, if you had to skip one Ghost in the Shell project, I would say the movie. It's just very Hollywoody. It does have some cool scenes, and I think Bato's performance is like probably the best part of the movie. They cast a really good Bato, but other than that, it's whatever. Scarlet does look hot as Modoko though, as I say multiple times throughout the movie reaction. Anyways, that's it. Just some final thoughts. Would recommend. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new here, hit the sub for some more based anime takes. And like, comment, what did you think of the show if you watched it with me or without me or whatever. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.